Hi, in this video I want to show you some of my example solves from FMC. So I want to show you my unofficial min of 327.67, which I have recently done, and it's only a block building. These solves are only block building solve, so I think we can go ahead with the first scramble. So that's how the scramble looks like, and there I tried at first to do some EO, but it was 6 edges unoriented on the basic axis, and the EOs on other axes also didn't satisfy me, so I tried some block building, and I noticed that with U I can pair up these two, but there's no edge on the top layer, so I did F prime at first to put this edge on the top layer, then U, and then B to create this square. And then I did F to solve this edge and U2 to complete this whole square. And at this point I couldn't see anything good to go ahead, so I switched to the inverse scramble. So here we are on the inverse scramble, and the first thing I noticed is that this blue-white cross edge is solved, and by doing D2 and then inserting this F12 pair, I can get a nice 2x2x3. And then what I also saw is that I have this pair over here and this edge over here, so I could pair them up like this, but I decided to do L2, D2, L2, and then D2 in order to create a pseudo F12-1 with this pair over here and other pair here. So at this point I switched back to the normal scramble. So we are back at the normal scramble. I have my 2x2x3 block over here, and I'm one move away from a F12-1, but I noticed that if I do from this angle, if I do B and then complete my F12-1 and B prime to undo this move, I get my whole F12, and I was trying to go with OLL to find if I see if I maybe could find an PL skip, but it didn't happen. So what I did over here was I trying to go with this OLL algorithm 6 mover in order to orient all the edges. So I tried to do this, and luckily I get my all edges solved, one corner solved, and I'm left only with 3 corners. So I'm 23 moves to 3 corners, which is not that great, but I think I did well on insertions, which gave me this pretty nice result. So the insertion looked like this: 2 goes to 3, and 3 goes to 1, and the move in the skeleton before the insertion was B. So B prime, the interchange move B prime cancelled 2 moves already. Then I did D, F prime, D prime, and insertion, and then undo the first move and undo the insertion. So the last move of the insertion was D prime. The next move in the skeleton is D. So I cancelled 4 moves in the insertion, which gave me a total result of 27 moves. So here we are on the second scramble, which gave me a 28 move solution. So in this scramble I decided to do EO first, and I'm already on the inverse of the scramble. So the butt edges in the axis that I chose to do EO on are these two, this one on the back, and this one over here. So these two are already on the B side. So if I do D and L2, I get all of them on the B side, and then I chose to do B prime. This gave me the square, but I could easily completed it like this, but I chose to switch back to the normal scramble to see if I can get something better there after this 2x2x3, 2x2x2. So we are at the normal scramble, and I did R2, B2, R2 in order to complete this square, and a bunch of edges get solved. I have this pair over here, but nothing especially good. So at this point I decide to switch back to the inverse scramble. So I'm back at the inverse scramble, and from this point on I haven't switched back to normal, so my whole solution from now is on inverse. So I notice this pair, which can go with this block to create a 2x2x3, and it's very easy, just u prime f2 that creates this block, and u. It gave me also this pair, and I tried to insert it, but it didn't really work out. So the next thing I have done is I inserted it the other way with this edge. So I did L, D prime, L prime to insert this edge, which is now F2 away from its position, and I can go with D2 in order to create the square, and then F2, which gave me F2L minus 1, and from this point I can just these two edges, I can just solve the skeleton, so these two edges are relatively good to each other. This one is bad, so I can replace this one. And the last move to get me my five corner skeleton, and this 5-corner skeleton was 8 moves, which is again not that good, but I think I did good on insertions, which cancelled me 6 moves at total to give me my 28 moves solution. So I think I can go on with the first insertion. So my first insertion is these 3 pieces, 1, 3, and 2. The move in the skeleton was B2. So B2 interchange cancelled me 2 moves. Then R prime F2 R to insert it. Then again B2 and R prime F2 R. The last move of the insertion was R, and the next move of the skeleton was R2. So in this way, so that gave me -3. But the second move of the insertion was R prime, and the move before B2 in the skeleton was R2. So that cancelled me 1 more move. So this insertion cancelled me 4 moves in total. And the second insertion, I have 1, 3, and 2. So I can do the interchange by R. The move in the skeleton before was R, so that cancelled me 1 move. Then F prime, L prime, F, R prime, F prime, L, F. So that was my insertion. The last move was F. The next move in the skeleton was F2. So that cancelled me 1 more move. So the insertions were 8 minus 4 and 8 minus 2. In total to give me a solution of 28 moves. So here we are on the last scramble, and this solution was also 28 moves, but I haven't done a single insertion in it. So I got pretty lucky with a PL skip at the end, but it only shows you that you should always look for such skips. So to begin, I haven't done EO again. But what I noticed is that with U and D prime, I get these 2 pairs created. So again, U creates this one, D prime creates this one, and this edge is already solved. So B prime gets me this square, and then D, and R prime to create this 1x2x3 block. And from now on, I try to create a pseudo 2x2x3 or 2x2x3. So what I ended up doing was inserting this edge over here, but not like this because it breaks me this 2x2x3. So I moved it away, then inserted it, then brought that back, and this creates me this pair and this edge. So if I do something like this, I create this square, and I notice that this edge that goes here is over here. So if I do B, U2, and B prime, I preserve this square, and I get this edge solved. And D2 gives me a pseudo 2x2x3, and U2 gives me this square. So in total it gives me a pseudo F12 minus 1. So to fix this pseudo, I switched on the inverse scramble. So I'm on the inverse, and I stayed on the inverse to the end of the solution. So first move I did a D prime to get me F12 minus 1, and from now on I saw this pair, this F12 pair that goes over here, is set up correctly. So I wanted to see which case I get after inserting it. So I inserted it, and it gave me this OLL case, and I noticed that the last move of the pair insertion and the first move of the OLL cancel out, so that's pretty lucky. And I wanted to see if I can maybe get a PL skip or something, so I don't have to look for other solution. Did the OLL, and it skipped, so that was pretty lucky. And what can I say more, a 28 move solution, which gave me a min of 3 of 27.67, which is my PB actually. So I hope that you learned something from this video, that this block building was of any help for you, and I see you in the next one. Bye.